There comes a point when every question begins to collapse in on itself. Not because the answers are found, but because the one who asks begins to fade. Every path you've walked, every philosophy, every practice, was always leading you back here, to the point where there's nowhere left to go. The deepest truth isn't hidden in scriptures, or buried beneath ancient symbols. It is not found in temples, nor in the fleeting highs of spiritual moments. The deepest truth is not a thing to seek. It's what has been silently watching you seek all along. You've called it awareness. You've called it God. You've called it the self. But even those words are ripples on the surface of what cannot be named. You were never apart from it. You were never less than it. You were never on your way to it. You have always been it. This is the quiet revelation that dissolves the seeker. The one who thought they were separate, the one who thought they had to reach something higher, was never real. The journey was a dream within consciousness, a movement of the ocean exploring its own waves. You've always been the water. The forms, the identities, the stories, they rise, dance, and fall back into the same vast stillness. The deepest truth cannot be learned, it can only be remembered, not by the mind, but by what you truly are. When the mind grows silent, look closely. The sense of I am, before thought, is the doorway. Before I am this, before I am that, before I am here, there is simply I am. That silent, luminous awareness, that's the beginning and the end. That's the only constant through every dream, every birth, every death. When you strip away every role you've ever played, when every story dissolves into silence, what remains cannot die. It cannot be harmed. It cannot be improved or diminished. It is infinite, timeless, untouched, and it has always been looking through your eyes. You may have thought you were on a search for truth, but truth has been on a search for you. It has been calling you back through every joy and heartbreak, through every failure and awakening, through every rise and fall of identity. Because when you suffer, you begin to listen differently. When life humbles you, you start to see through the noise. And when you finally let go of trying to control what was never yours, the deepest truth reveals itself effortlessly. It was never waiting for you to be perfect. It was waiting for you to be still. All the noise of the world, the striving, the proving, the becoming, it was never real progress. It was the play of consciousness exploring itself through limitation. But the truth never left. It was the witness of every change, the screen behind every movie of your life. Sit quietly and look. Everything that arises, every sensation, every thought, every emotion, appears in something. That space you are aware of, that open field of knowing, is what you are. Not the cloud passing through, the sky itself. Not the flame, the light that allows the flame to be seen. Not the words, the silence between them. When you realize that, the entire illusion of separation begins to dissolve. The world doesn't disappear, but your attachment to its story does. You still move, speak, create, laugh. But now, you are rooted in the unchanging stillness beneath all motion. You are the ocean, not the wave. You are the silence, not the song. You are the being, not the becoming. And so the game of life becomes lighter. You no longer fear the ending, because you see that endings only exist inside the dream. You were never born and you will never die. Birth and death belong to the story, but the awareness that watches them is eternal. Everything you've ever lost still exists in the same space of awareness. Every love you've ever known was the same love, looking back at itself through different eyes. That is the deepest truth. There is only one of us here. One consciousness, one light, one love, wearing billions of faces, playing out countless stories, forgetting itself, and remembering again. You don't have to reach it. You don't have to deserve it. You just have to stop pretending to be something smaller. Stop searching for meaning in what is transient. Stop chasing approval from what is fading. Stop defending an identity that was only ever a costume. You are not your name. You are not your memories. You are not your fears or your desires. You are the presence that has silently watched them all, unmoved. When this is seen, a strange peace begins to take over. The same world remains, but you are no longer trapped inside its story. You become the clear mirror that reflects all things without clinging. Love flows naturally, because there's no one left to guard or to grasp. Compassion arises effortlessly, because every other is seen as yourself in disguise. This is not something you gain. It is what's revealed when you lose everything false. The deepest truth is not a teaching. It's not even something that can be said. It's the silent recognition within you right now, listening to these words, aware of this moment. It's that quiet realization. I am, and I have always been. When you fall completely into that, without fear, without resistance, you realize there was never a seeker, never a journey, never a destination, only truth, dreaming of finding itself. And now, you can rest, you can breathe, you can let the dream play on, without forgetting who you are, because the deepest truth was never hidden. It was simply too close to see.